That is a candidate for game of the tournament. I still put, I think I still put Portugal Spain as the game of the tournament. But this was like top three, top four. If you're Japanese, so gutted for you. But it's hard to take something out of this game and to not be happy with the overall performance. Japan, get this. Football likes to write the most humorous yet tragic of ironies sometimes. Japan advanced to the round of 16 through conservative pragmatism in the final minutes against Poland, letting the clock wane down because they heard news in the other game that Colombia had taken the lead against Senegal, so they kind of just passed the ball around. I don't blame them. I probably would have done the same thing if it meant me going through. So they went through on that, and then they got eliminated by going all in, seeking a winner against Belgium. They did not play to take this game to extra time. To be honest, I'm not sure they could have even afforded to, because it looked like it was inevitable that Belgium would have taken the lead at some point. But what a performance. What a game. Man, the first half, Japan did a thoroughly great job of frustrating Belgium at every turn. And Japan had a couple of really decent looks on goal the first half as well. And I said coming into this tournament, that's the way that Japan football operates. It's a compensation for individual talent through technical ability, fluid passing, and skill just on the ball movement. And I said there's a fluidity. There's a fluidity that comes to Japan's passing, the technical press, the kind of football that they play. And I'm so glad that they made a good accounting of themselves today, because I thought Belgium would win this comfortably. Scoreline prediction was 4-1. I gave Japan a goal. But very much so Japan in this tournament, vindicating my prediction that they would advance past the group stages. And what two wonderful goals by Japan, especially the banger from Inui outside of the box. That's one of the best goals of the tournament. When Japan took the 2-0 lead, it was almost too good to be true. You felt that they're not really going to be able to hang on, are they? And there's a question of what game plan do they now shift to? Do they go back to the final few minutes against Poland, or do they just keep going for it? They keep going for the kill. And sure enough, Japan actually sought after for a third goal, and they almost got it. But they forced Belgium into such a scrappy sense of urgency to press forward and seek the equalizer. And Vertonghen, the first goal that Belgium scored to pull one back, it looked like it wasn't even an attempt on goal. It looked like he was trying to cross it, but sure enough, it defeated the Japanese goalkeeper, Kawashima. He's been getting a lot of criticism from Japanese football. The press in Japan for being a goalkeeper that makes silly errors, or somebody that makes saves while standing behind the line, therefore making own goals. Should he have gotten a hand to it? I think so. He should have. But at the same time, it was just one of those plays where a goalkeeper has to make an instant instant second judgment of whether or not to let it go, because it looks like it's a cross or if it's an attempt on goal. And it looked like it was a cross. I'm pretty sure that Vertonghen meant for it to be a cross, but it was like a Maicon for Brazil type of goal in 2010 versus North Korea. And Kawashima, maybe he gets a pass for that because he misinterpreted whether that was going in or not, whether that was an attempt on goal. I didn't think it was an attempt on goal, but it pulled one back. Belgium again scoring with the header to make things level just 5 minutes later. And the funny thing is, Belgium scored an equalizer. They scored 2 goals within 5 minutes. Japan scored 2 goals within a couple of minutes as well. But this game really came alive. It really got electric when Japan took a very much unexpected 2-0 lead. And then when Belgium came back, you have to applaud Japan for the way that they responded to giving up a 2-goal lead so quickly. I mean, they didn't put numbers behind the ball. They didn't bunker down like a lot of analysts might have thought they would have. They took the initiative. They sought after. They looked for a winner, and they caused Belgium a lot of problems on the counter. And they came close a few times to getting a third. And the heartbreaking thing is, the final kick of the game for Japan, Keisuke Honda stepping up, that was a wonderful free kick attempt. Absolutely superb. And Courtois making that save, himself being a world-class goalkeeper. And then once Courtois recovered the ball, sending that down the field, Belgium responding right away quickly on the counter. And it got Japan in the dying seconds of the game. But right before Belgium finished the executioner's lever, once they pull the lever, right before they pull the lever, imagine if that Honda free kick goes in. I mean, he scored a goal similar to like that versus Denmark back in 2010 in the World Cup. There, go watch highlights of Keisuke Honda in the 2010 World Cup. He scored a free kick from a very similar position, and he almost got it towards the end. Imagine if that goes in and Japan wins 3-2. It's absolute scenes. But for Belgium, I would say this. Praise for Belgium. Their resolve was tested in this game, and they came back in emphatically convincing fashion. My concern for Belgium, though, is they need to improve, because they can't allow a side that is already not going to give them that much space in Brazil, the same way that they did with Japan today, and they can't allow Brazil more possession on the ball the way they allowed Japan possession on the ball today. You give Japan a lot of credit, but at the end of the day, you're playing against Brazil next. That's quite an upgrade in the level of an opponent that you're going to play. So I actually, you can disagree with me. I consider this a Pyrrhic victory for Belgium, because I think it raises more questions than it does answer a few things about them. Yes, for them to come back the way that they did, not a lot of teams can do it. At the same time, this is a side that is so ridiculously talented, man per man. I put Belgium second only to France in individual talent of all the 32 countries in this World Cup. But you really have to question whether or not they're going to be able to go toe-to-toe with Brazil. And I'm going to say something that's a little bit unpopular here. I'm not so sure Belgium versus Brazil is going to be a classic. I think it could be very much a one-sided affair. And I think that's an absolutely a fair concern to raise, because, again, I'm not taking away credit for Belgium doing what they did today, but they can't afford to do this against Brazil. Brazil will eat them. They'll eat them. And the concern is, it's not just the fact that Belgium came back into this match, but they got themselves into a position that they absolutely should not have allowed themselves to get into. And yes, you can praise Japan for doing what they did as well, but Belgium sort of reverted back to their old ways of struggling against lesser opposition. They struggled with Wales in Euro 2016. They struggled with the USA and Algeria in Brazil 2014 in the last World Cup. So in the last two major tournaments, Belgium has essentially, they flirted with disaster. They've time and time again, they flirted with catastrophe only to see themselves through the end. I'm not sure they can afford to do that against Brazil. So, maybe this will galvanize Belgium. Maybe this will make Martinez address some of the mistakes they made in this match to prepare for Brazil. But the onus is on Belgium to prove us wrong, not for us to give Belgium the benefit of the doubt. It should be a good game. And, well done to Belgium for pulling off the biggest comeback of the 2018 World Cup. I'm not so quite sure they can beat Brazil.